Hello, welcome to today's Sencha Sprint series. Today we're going to be talking about Sencha Fiddle. This is an online tool where you can code and test your Ext JS projects. And most important, you can share them, you can show it to some other developers. I am Andres Villalba. I am a Sencha Sales Engineer. And like I said, today I'm going to be showing you Sencha Fiddle. So let's start. If you want to use Sencha Fiddle, all you have to do is just go to fiddle.sencha.com, and just like any programming fiddle, development fiddle online, you can just go in and type some code and see how it works. Uh, for now, let me just tell you about our fiddle. It's basically an online code editor. It has an instant preview. It allows for code sharing. It allows for version control. You can actually create forks from your code or from some other people's code. It does have built-in XJS support, of course, and it can help you with community engagement and also learning and training. I have also seen people use this tool to perform testing. So if you have your own company and wanted to ask somebody to create a project or some kind of test, you can do it here. And one of the greatest things about Sencha Fiddle is that you do not need to have Sencha installed in your computer. You can test right in your browser. This example that I have here, it's just a basic window. In a minute or so, I'm going to be explaining the different parts of the Sencha Fiddle. So let's go on. On the left, we have the left toolbar. We have several different options. One of them is just the basic editor button, which basically just loads the work area. We have the run button to test what you're programming. We also have search to open any previously saved fiddles, either from you or any developer that have used the Sencha Fiddle and has chosen the option to share. The new button to start a new example, save, of course, to save, fork to create a new branch of your code, admin to change a few aspects of your fiddle. I will show them in a few minutes. And also you have two different links at the end. One is forum and one is docs. The forum button will take you to the Sencha forums, which right now are disabled for further posting, but you can take a look at them and search for a few things in them. Right now, we're not using the Sencha forums because instead we have a channel in Discord for this. And also, the Sencha Docs is the best online tool that you can find to learn Sencha. And on the top, we have different options. We have the title to set up the title for your project. We have a voting system to select if you like it or not. I mean, the example you're creating or you're reading about. We have the login button, and we also have a panel where you can choose the version you're using and the toolkit you're using for your Sencha Fiddle. And there's something really important to know about login. Although you can create and test examples, the only way to actually be able to log in is by having an active Sencha account. This means you either have the professional or the enterprise version. If you don't have any, you won't be able to log in. If you do and you don't have your credentials, please contact support@sencha.com and they will be happy to help you out to get your credentials. Um, It also has a file system. I will talk about that in a couple of minutes. But first, let me just show you a working example for the Sencha Fiddle. When you get here, this is the first thing you will see. I have already started my own session, but this is what you will see. You have a basic example, code example in here. If I just go in and click on Run, it's going to open the panel on the right. and it's gonna run that example. As you can see, all that I have here, it's a message alert with the title Fiddle and welcome to Sencha Fiddle, and that's what we are getting here. This is an alert box. We can do a lot more, but for now, let me just go through everything really fast. If I want to open an example, I can just click on search. I can search by title, description, author, framework, tags, or I can sort by different methods. So let me just search one of my examples. As you can see, I have loaded a few things. Let's just try the calendar. When I click on it, it's gonna load my code and it's gonna load the example. Um, Sometimes, depending on your connection and how many people are logging into the Sencha Fiddle, this might take a while. If it's not loading after a few seconds, you can click on run once again and see if it works. One of the most common mistakes too that people make here is that they don't check which toolkit are they using. So also it could be failing because you're programming for the classic toolkit, but you're running modern or the opposite. So let me just click on run again, and there it is. This example that I loaded has different options here. This is the code for the calendar, but as you can see here, I have different assets. We're looking at app.js. If you wanted to use it, you also have an index.html, and we also have a style file. Inside the data folder, you can put all your JSON files. This is because we are only running an example. We don't have actual data here, so this will have to do. And we also have packages. So if you are using any of our premium components or something that is not included with the basic SDK, you can load them here. For example, the calendar D3 adapters and the exporter are all premium components that come with the enterprise version. You can test them here. Or if you want to use just the UX or the charts, you also need to load them here, even though they are part of the professional package. Uh, if you have an example and you want to fork it, you can just click here. I'll show it. I'll show that also in a few minutes. So let me go back to a simple application. I'm just gonna hit on new. Gonna say yes to lose any changes. And right now, what I'm gonna do here is just show you how to basically just build a different example. I can keep on running here in modern. For now, just to show you that it works, I'm gonna go into classic. And let's just say that I want to use the Triton material. Sorry, the Triton theme. So from here, I can do whatever I want. Let's just see if this works. Now I'm using Classic and I'm using a Triton. You can see that it looks a lot different. Let's get rid of that alert box. What I'm gonna do now, it's just basically create a button, and when we click that button, what I'm gonna do is open a window. It's just a basic hello world example. We already had one, but I'm gonna create something a lot more, well, not a lot more, something a little bit more complex. So we can do it any way we want. What I'm gonna do here is just basically create a button. And just gonna use the create method. As you guys know, what I do here is basically I just use the class name and then specify all the options. As you can also see here, this is a fully working editor. It actually auto-completes a few things. So I'm just gonna type hello for the text of the button. And also what I'm gonna do down here, I'm gonna put that button inside a viewport. So I'm just gonna say Ext create, and same deal. I'm gonna create a viewport, and I'm gonna set up the options. I'm just gonna put a layout center to have the button be at the center of my layout, and I'm gonna put some items here. Basically, the only item that I'm gonna have right now is the actual button that I have over there. Okay, I could do it a lot of different ways. I'm just gonna run for now. If I did it correctly, it's just gonna show my button there. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I called it my button, so it should be my button over here. Let's run it. There it is. Doesn't do anything, but I have a hello button right at the middle. So if I want to continue, I can add the event. I could also have done this. Instead of doing it this way, I could have just added the item here. Just said X type button. And from there, just type text hello. I'm gonna take that button out. This is usually the way I do it, and either way runs fine. So right now what I have is a viewport, and inside the viewport I have a button. Now I'm gonna add a handler, and inside that handler, what I'm gonna do is just open a new window. So I can do it several different ways. I'm just gonna create my window. Sorry, not function. I'm just gonna say Ext create. I'm gonna create a new window. In the classic toolkit, it's called Ext window. And here I'm just gonna do something simple. Gonna put a title, gonna name it my window. And I'm gonna give it a width and a height, let's say 400 and 300 for height. Gonna add a layout. We have different layouts. You can check them out inside our documentation. And inside of it, I'm just gonna add one item. This time, I'm just gonna create a panel. And inside of it, I'm just gonna add hello world as its contents. And let's add some paddings so that it doesn't touch the border. Right now, this is gonna create the window, however, it's not gonna show it. That's why I'm putting it inside a variable. And what I'm gonna do next is just say show the window. Let's test it. Here's the button. If I click hello, it's opening that window. Okay, from here we can do a lot more. There are a lot of options of what we can do. I could have an actual grid inside of it. Maybe we'll try it in a few minutes, but before I do that, I'm just gonna save this example. When I click on save, it's gonna ask me for a title and some tags. I could have done that too over here just by double clicking. I'm just gonna name it simple hello world example. Let's say window as a tag. Sorry, window. I'm gonna say hello world. That's not actually a tag here, but let's leave it like that. And description, simple hello world example. If I click on advanced options, I can add a password so that not everybody can look at it. I can take it off from the search bar, or I can lock it. Right now, I'm just gonna leave it like it is, and I'm gonna save. Okay, and we want to try something else, we can do it. But for now, let's do something a little bit different. I'm gonna look for an example. Just gonna say, look for something that has chart in the title. As you can see here, there are a different few examples. I'm just gonna grab the first one. I actually know the guy that created this example. Let's try it. As you can see, this is a working example with a basic chart. And from here, what I'm gonna do is just create a fork. If I want to modify it, since this is not mine, I can just click on fork. This is gonna save the fiddle, but inside my copy, inside with my name. So I'm gonna click once again on it. I'm gonna put Andres's version. So if I'm working with a team, one of my team members can share his code this way. I can open it, I can fork it, I can apply some changes to it. Right now, I'm not gonna do much to it. Um, it just say instead of value for the title, I'm just gonna say sales. And instead of company, I'm just gonna say customer. Let's see what happens. As you will see, it will only change those text there. In this example, what we have here, as you can see, it has the app JS file. It also has a sales JSON. So I can also go in and change the data if I wanted to. Let me just save it. And now I have a copy of this example inside my own user. If I wanted to, I could change the details, which is once again the title, the tags, and so on. I can download everything that is here. It will include my files, but it won't include any of the packages. So let me just open it. As you can see, it's just the basic files that we created. If I want to make this work inside Ext JS in my local project, I need to have the SDK. Okay, what else? Also, something that I can do here, I can either click on the open a new window button or share button. I'm gonna start from the right. If I click on this one, I will get my code in, I mean, my example in a full window instead of having it run with the code. Or if I click on the share button, I will get a link to my example inside an iframe, and I can use this to put it inside a forum or my website or anywhere I want. One of the cool things is that I can switch between the code and the view. So basically, I can use this to share my code. If I don't want this size for my Fiddle example, I can change the value after I copy. So I can just copy this, paste, and maybe the height, I want something higher for it. Um, just like I said before, we can download. Then we have groups and teams. It's something to put everything together and share it. Not everything there is working since we took the form out, but it's something to take in mind. We can also delete this example. We can go into the forums or we can open the documentation. Will take me to the Sencha Fiddle docs. And if you go there, you can see a lot of information. You can see a basic example that you can copy and paste. And also, if you go into our Sencha documentation, you go directly to Ext JS, you will be able to find some examples that show you the fiddle. Right now, I'm not sure which ones are doing this, to tell you the truth, but you will be able to tell because they have a symbol there. Anyways, what else? If you wanted to check a few more examples, we have created a few there. If you search for my name, you will see a few. And there's a simple hello world example, the simple chart that we just loaded. Another sample window. There's a pivot grid example, some Google Maps also. We go in and click on it. Sorry, I have a debugger line there. Let's take it out. Debug, where is it? There. Let's just take it out. And let's make sure that it's actually in the correct toolkit. It is. And also, since I am using here pivot grid and it didn't load, that's why it is not running. I'm just gonna click on run and try it again. As you can see, it's here. And it's a fully working example. And if I go into Google Maps, I can also go in and test it out. I actually have that one twice. I also have a debugger line there. That's why it stopped. Okay, have UX Google, yeah. Let's click on run. Okay, let's block. And there it is. It wasn't working because I was not allowing the browser to know my location. So basically I just gave it a generic location. But there it is. Anyways, this is pretty much everything that Sencha Fiddle has for us. We can do a lot more. Yes, of course. You can check that we have a beautify button and it has different options to beautify your code. Um, we can test a lot more examples, but this is the basic idea. Um, in my presentation, I also had a description of each of the packages that we have. Uh, there isn't much to say about those. We have AMF, calendar, charts, D3, exporter, Froala for our sister company Froala. You can load the rich text editor there. The Google API that I was just showing you, loading legacy components, pivot for pivot grids, SOAP to use the SOAP protocol, and UX to use some components that actually use the UX package. And that's basically it. So this is what we have prepared for you for this webinar. If you have any questions, please enter them in the panel right now. I can see one question right now from our users. They're asking when this is going to be available. This is going to be available soon to watch on demand. Um, Usually we do it 1 day or 2 days after this live presentation. Okay, what else? Okay, I don't see any questions right now. So if you guys have any other questions, you have my email at the beginning of this presentation, or you can just leave some comments in the on-demand version, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. Thank you again. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you soon since we will be having a few more sprint series and webinars prepared. So see you soon. Thank you again. I hope you enjoyed this video.